Hi, hello, and welcome to the GK Sports India YouTube channel. This is your favorite Kumbi Jiku show. Good morning, Jiku, and I can see a smiling Jiku. We are here to do the review of the India New Zealand all important game that happened yesterday at DY Patil Stadium. And to discuss more on this, my good friend Jiku, G. Krishnan, who very much was present in the venue. So my questions will be very brief, and you would be giving elaborate answers for whatever he did there. Welcome, Jiku, and happy to see you smiling at last. India coming good at the right time, and I would say hard-fought victory, not an easy one. End of the day, New Zealand, losing by 53 runs wide the DLS method.
Right.
So, how was the atmosphere, Jiku, to start with, and how was the scenario at the stadium?
Yeah, first of all, good morning, Shri. Thank you, and yes, thank you very much. Yeah, it was a good atmosphere, though the crowd was building up even after play began. The crowd was a record crowd for a women's World Cup league match ever. It was in the range of some 27,000 plus that was present at the DY Patil Stadium, and everyone went home with a smile because India not only won, but they also sealed the fourth spot in the semifinal that was left to be gained, joining Australia, South Africa, and England. So this DY Patil Stadium is going to be India's base for the next week or so, and it would extend if they even make it to the final. So they are going to play the semifinal in DY Patil Stadium next Thursday, awaiting the opponent, whoever finishes first. So it was a good atmosphere, though rain interrupted and there was a halt for an combined 2 hours plus. It was high scoring and something that the spectators could not have asked for anything better.
No, actually, going by watching the games that are happening in Colombo, I think it's been a damn squib. Not only rain playing spoil sport, but the home team also not getting any support from the crowd per se, because we've seen before even this game, international matches and the Women Premier League held in DY Patil always that has full houses. Just coming to we were discussing about pressure, holding nerves, all these things. To start with, do you think the right thing to do was, New Zealand winning the toss and deciding to chase? Because we always believe in saying that, any knockout sort of a game, there is something called a scoreboard pressure. So if India even had managed to get about 270, 280,
Yes.
looking at the gravity of the game, I think it would have been 30 plus. Do you think New Zealand faltered there by deciding to, field first? And of course, it was a beauty of a wicket, though India had a slow start in the first 6 overs. Typically, the starts have been extremely good for India, and why not? Another brilliant 100 and partnership, and both the openers, Smriti Mandhana and Pratika Rawal, are going on to make hundreds, which laid the foundation of India to go and make a big score. Do you think to start with the strategy of New Zealand, they were a bit, up and down on that?
I thought it came as a surprise when Sophie Devine put India into bat, because just the previous day, the only reason I can think is because of the dew factor that was actually there in the later half of the match. Only for that dew factor, she decided to bowl first. But then it was something that I thought they should have batted first and applied the same scoreboard pressure on India, knowing very well that India has been under pressure, being a home match, the pressure of expectations from the billion odd population of India, and the scoreboard pressure that New Zealand could have put on India. I thought it was something which they erred at the start. But having said that, India made the most of it. We were talking about the at least one of the openers staying till the end and scoring big, converting the half 50s into the triple digits. We had both the openers score that, and a record partnership for India in World Cup, Women's World Cup, 212. Both Smriti Mandhana scoring her fifth 100 in this year, and Pratika Rawal her first World Cup 100 and second of her international career. What a phenomenal partnership these two have been having since the last 10 months, isn't it? Since they came together. It's something that
True,
is
I think.
amazing and taking India to greater heights. So yes, to answer your question, scoreboard pressure, and that's what did New
just
Zealand.
adding to that, I thought it would have been more sense. I was watching the game on television, and I thought the heat was sweltering, and it should have been more wise. Rain in the offing, nobody knew. Had it come down, and they were aware, to bowl in cooler conditions would have been better for New Zealand, is what I thought. Having said that, yes, you were talking about one change that possibly could be made. Amanjot Kaur was left out, and they got Jemima Rodriguez back in. I thought the masterstroke in this game was, unlike the previous games when India had a start, Harleen Deol was sent in at number three. I think Harleen Deol, to my knowledge, is a sort of a player under pressure. For example, if the team is 10 for 1 or 25 for 1 with about 35, 40 overs to go, she's the sort of player who can build her innings and work the way through. So much has been spoken about the strike rates of both Harleen Deol as well as Jemima Rodriguez. I thought the masterstroke was to send in Jemima at number three. I think she's a sort of player, bubbly. She's got a lot of self-belief, vibrant cricketer, and she rose to the occasion. Do you think that was a masterstroke, which in the end got India to that magical figure of 340 for nine at the end of 49 overs?
Yeah, it was just that she was carrying on from where the two openers left, and it was a beauty of a batting track that even if Harleen Deol had to bat in her number three position, she would have got going because there was nothing on the pitch assisting the bowlers, especially the spin bowlers. And Jemima Rodriguez played her strokes nicely through the gaps, over the top, over the infield, and picking up boundaries with this. And it was a very fast outfield, and the outfield became slow after the rain interruption and when New Zealand was batting. But then it was anybody would have scored. But I thought instead of Jemima Rodriguez, it would have made better. I won't say better sense, but it would have helped if Harmanpreet came and accelerated the innings, carrying on from
No. Sorry, Jiko.
uh,
I think you've been very, very critical, in terms of acknowledging what Jemima did. Mind you, she's also gone through a rough patch, barring a couple of 30s. I think it has to be acknowledged. And sorry to say, though Harman got 70 in the game against England, she still is not looking in her flow. So I thought it was a master stroke. So far, they've been faltering in terms of their batting order, even the playing combination in the park. But I thought that was a master stroke, and I personally feel that India got to 340 just because of Jemima walking in at number three. Maybe, instead of Harman, it would have been Richa Ghosh would have walked in at number four, because again, Harman yesterday, it was lesser run a ball, whatever 10 runs she got.
True.
So besides that, I thought, suddenly, once the first innings got over, in fact, I made a frantic phone call to you saying, how's the downpour? And I thought that even the gods are not kind enough to the Indian girls. Having put up a massive score of 340, 20 overs what was important for India to happen.
Right.
And post the downpour, fantastic work done by the ground staff. The game got going. The revised target New Zealand had to get in 44 overs was 325. I would say pretty good run chase. They faltered at the start. Maybe that was which didn't give them momentum to go up. What did you make of the Indian planning and bowling attack, especially?
I thought Renuka was on target, and even the change of ends that she did later on after coming in the second spell and removing those two wickets in successive overs, that of their captain Sophie Devine, and before that their opener. That probably
Suzie Bates.
no, not Suzie Bates. The Georgia Plimmer and Sophie Devine clean bowled in succession. That gave India the momentum, because that's where I thought New Zealand lost it, because earlier Suzie Bates was out cheap, and Sophie Devine, a lot of expected of her, and she has been scoring runs in this World Cup. And so Suzie Bates was continuing with her horrid form, not getting runs, even though it was only 3 innings that they got to bat in this, because 2 of their matches in Colombo were washed out. But then those 2 crucial wickets in succession that clinched the issue, and it was always going to be that the scoreboard pressure, the required run rate was only mounting, and though they got runs, the Indian bowlers, especially the spinners, they gave runs aplenty. You have those 3 spinners, Sneh Rana, Sri Charani, and Deepti Sharma, and to add Pratika Rawal also rolled her arms over for off spin, and combined they gave away 6.7 runs and over, and that was how good the batting was even in the second innings. But then it was those three early wickets and the scoreboard pressure. New Zealand could just not make it.
So in the end, they say that when pressure is on, I think the girls stood up for it, and now they deservingly have made it to the top four as the fourth side in the semi-final lineup. Because I've been reiterating the same thing, saying this is too good a side to be losing 3 games on a trot. So I believe now, barring Harmanpreet, I think most of our top order batters have run into form, and the bowling always has looked pretty good, especially the spinners. And happy to see somebody like Renuka Thakur also amongst wickets yesterday. So a couple of days off, and India then tee off against Bangladesh, where I think they would try to carry forward this momentum and ensure they close it on Bangladesh and then get set going for the semi-finals. Just one word on New Zealand. I think they were at the receiving end. Couple of games, one-pointers, game not taking off due to rain in Colombo. And I think Sophie Devine also had made a statement saying if there is forecast of rain, which is round the corner, I think the game should be started that much earlier. I think this is something, it was a forced a change in venue because Pakistan not traveling to India. So Sri Lanka had to play all their home games along with Pakistan in Sri Lanka, barring the one game wherein Sri Lanka traveled their opening game against India. I think this is an area wherein they need to be more clear about how they want to have more games because so much impetus and so much promotion has been done about this, Women's World Cup. So happy result for everybody, Jiko. And end of it, I'm extremely happy for the Indian batting unit coming good and always discussing about this 300 plus scores. And India got to that magical figure of 340. So thanks, Jiko, for your insights. I know you would have enjoyed yesterday afternoon's game in DY Patil. Thank you for your wonderful insights. So we'll catch you all soon on the other side doing the preview of the Bangladesh game. Though, in terms of the qualification scenario, it might look null and void. But for India, it's again for them to assert the supremacy and ensure they carry this momentum forward.
Yes, thank you, Sri. Thank you. And I didn't mean to criticize Jemima Rodriguez and her promotion to number 3, but I would like to see her perform in the same manner in some trying situations, in some challenging conditions. Because yesterday it was such a beautiful batting track that she was bound to, because she is also a local girl and knows the conditions and the red clay soil and how it behaves and all that. So she was bound to, and she's a good player to be scoring quick. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, it was. I will not. I didn't even think of it being a master move, but then it was a fair enough move to that she carried on from where the openers left. So thank you very much, Sri. And yes, let's hope she does in challenging conditions where things do not go well for the batsman. I would want to see her succeed in those conditions. Thank you.
Thanks, Zico. We need to give the devil the credit where it's due. As simple as that. It could be Jemima, it could be Richa Ghosh, it could be anybody else. So there are no individuals who are above the game. To me personally, I felt it was an excellent move to promote her up to number 3 to ensure it also gave her the confidence and all the flexibility in the batting order to work it around. Anyway, thank you, viewers. Keep watching till we catch up next time around. Take care and stay safe. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.